Good morning, Malacan Press Corps. Kasama na natin si Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Salvador Panelo.
Good morning to all of you. I'm ready if you are.
Maricel, you have... Okay.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Sir, how soon do we expect yung issuance ng executive order with regards dun sa water shortage?
With regard to that, it's still being processed. It's being finalized.
But do we have a target considering na...
Well, it should be ready anytime this week or the week after.
But how will this help the issue on the water crisis?
But
sir?
right now, it's the the appropriate agency is responding to it. We have almost 90%. Kung bagay, pwede naman pala. Yun ang nga sinasabi natin eh. Mukhang wala namang talagang shortage. It's pure inefficiency, mismanagement on the part of Manila Waters. And also, I've been watching the hearing. It appears now that even the chief regulator, the regulator of these two concessionaires, is guilty of mismanagement.
But at least are you satisfied with how Manila Water responded to the order of the President given as, according to them, 80% na daw yung
90% na nga.
90%
90%.
water.
Sa amin, wala na akong problema sa lugar namin. So in other words, talagang wala shortage.
Are you satisfied, sir, with how they responded to the order of the
Well, the
President?
fact that it's 90%, that means baka by tomorrow, they were saying that the only places where there is problem in the water supply are those areas na nasa taas, upper areas. They mentioned certain, Quezon City, Pasig, yung mga areas lang doon. Kaya parang 10% na lang.
Sir, on the Kaliwa Dam, yung Japanese company na nagpo-propose, I think it's a Global Utility Development Corp, has revived its proposal to build the Kaliwa Dam, saying that it's cost-efficient as compared if it's Chinese funded. Do you consider their proposal, sir?
Well, I think every proposal should be considered. The objective should always be the welfare of the people. The most beneficial, the most advantageous to the government and to the people should be the primordial consideration in any contracts involving the government and other private entities.
Sir, last, is this being studied now?
I think so, yes. Those involved.
By whom, sir?
By the appropriate agency, whoever is the one engaged.
Thank you, sir.
Still on water, a question? No more na sa issue
With respect to water, I think I have a personal suggestion. I think we should really put reservoir in all cities of this country as well as in provinces. It's very easy to build reservoir. I cannot even understand why we're not doing that. Or apart from the reservoir, we can, what do you call that? Exploit the deep well. Because my personal experience in Marikina, I have a deep well. So I have no problem there. Put a generator, then you pump water. Walang problema. Siguro naman, in many areas of this country, maraming pwede pang pagkunan ng tubig. We cannot be relying on these two concessionaires. Kawawa sila kanina sa mga kongresista.
Henry Uri.
Henry.
Ay, Secretary, may mga nagtutulak ng Department of Water. Magkaroon
Hindi
daw tayo
kailangan yun.
ng...
I don't think kailangan.
Hindi na kailangan.
Hindi kailangan yun.
Why do you think, sir?
O ilong problema lang ang ngayon. Nagawa kagad nila ng paraan eh. Simple lang ang problema. They created their own problem and they provide the solution. It's purely inefficiency, mismanagement.
Okay, thank you.
May follow-up? Other issue? Ina?
Hi,
visit
sir. It
at that
appears
time.
congressmen have, or lawmakers rather, have resolved supposedly yung impasse on the budget. Some congressmen are saying that nag-agree na daw po sila na ibalik doon sa dating version of the budget prior the ratification by both chambers. Has Malacanang been informed of this? Because earlier in the day, the House Speaker was saying a different thing. Ano po-
Different thing?
Ang sinasabi ni House Speaker earlier today, basically they're still sticking to the realignment
Where did you get
statement.
the other report that they're okay na?
May pareho pong statements. Yung isa po from Senator Ping saying that Congressman Zamora relayed to him that they will be reverting back to the old version. And then I think an hour before that, House Speaker Arroyo was saying that they're sticking to the realignments. So which
Actually,
is
on my
which?
part, I have not received that kind of info. But if that's true, that's good. If the speaker is saying the same thing, perhaps she has not been informed by her colleagues of the general plan of the majority of the House. Baka hindi niya pa alam.
So as far as you're concerned, it's likely what Congressman Zamora is saying.
Eh, siguro, I don't think they will be saying those things.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But what is important is they're resolving whatever conflict they have.
Follow-up sa budget? RJ or Ace? Ace. Sa budget. Other issue.
Pia, are you receiving the statements I sent you?
Other issue, MPC Joyce. Cedric.
Wala ba si Leo dito? Palo? Is he a member of this? Leo? He was supposed to be he's a member, di ba? In-interview niya ako kanina eh. Haba-haba na interview niya.
Morning, sir. Sir, on Friday's Business Law Forum, the president of Law Asia said that the state of rule of law in the Philippines and the alleged EJ case affect foreign investor confidence, sir. Do you see any basis for such an observation, sir?
No, I think whoever said that should conduct more research of that. According to our economic managers, particularly Secretary Dominguez, Secretary Pernia, and Secretary Lopez, they're one in saying that never that issue of human rights or extrajudicial killings have been raised during meetings with investors and other conferences relative to the business investments in this country. Number two, per Secretary Dominguez, we have, with respect to foreign investments, have increased. If you compare that to the previous administration, ang laki ng ating nakuhang investment from the foreign side. Ang laki nga ng investment natin na dumarating. What are the principal considerations in investing in this country? One would be the issue of bureaucracy. If there is so much red tape, they will be discouraged in coming here. That is precisely why we have the law on stopping such, what do you call that? Is on doing business in this country. That's the reason why we have that kind of law, precisely to encourage the foreign investors. And then with respect to peace and order situation, and that is why there are so many foreign investors, because they know that criminality has gone down considerably, and there is a war against illegal drugs, and we are dismantling many factories producing shabu.
Thank you, sir. Sir, in the same forum, sir, Law Asia also took note of, and I quote, 1 death every month of a lawyer since November, sir. Does the government have the same data?
That's an exaggeration. 1 death of a lawyer every month. Palagay ko, nangangarap siya ng gising. I don't think so. And even assuming that to be true, it cannot be attributed to the government or whatever, because those deaths may be the result of the problems affecting that particular individual, subject of the killing. Could be personal motivations. It could be revenge. It could be a botched business deals, or it could be a client disgruntled. There are many reasons for killing a particular individual.
Thank you, sir.
MPC questions. RJ.
Sir, a series of meetings between the Philippines and China on Build, Build, Build program are scheduled this week in Beijing. Do you know any details, the agenda of the meeting, sir?
No, I haven't heard of that yet. I will ask the economic managers involved in this, who in particular, so that I can specifically ask.
It's from the DOF, sir. From
Sige, I will
Asek
issue a
Lambino.
statement on that.
Sir, is it necessary to disclose to the public all our contracts with Chinese companies?
Well, that's pursuant to transparency. Yes, why not?
Are we doing it already?
There is no ongoing contract involving, is there? This precisely they're going there to discuss maybe.
All right, thank you, sir.
Choice.
Sir, elaboration lang on what really happened with President Duterte last Friday. He wasn't able to attend several events in Davao City, and his former aide, Sap Bongo, just mentioned he was indisposed. So ano po bang nangyari?
He had a migraine, but after 3 hours of rest, he recovered and he went to work, reading so many documents. He just stayed in the house.
And I believe, sir, meron din siya na-miss na another event the following day, sa Saturday. So, during the entire weekend, kamusta po ba si President Duterte?
Yeah, he's okay. As I said, he concentrated on his work, the paperwork. There are so many things to read and to study.
So, nothing serious sa condition ni
Oh,
President?
definitely not. The usual migraine that affects him every now and then.
Nasaan po siya ngayon, sir? Where is he now?
I suppose he's in Davao. I look at the schedule and it's still in Davao.
So, he's in perfect shape naman, sir?
Oh, definitely.
Questions, MPC? No more? Okay, Christine.
Sir,
Christine,
yeah. Attorney Sabio said that the ICC case will continue despite the withdrawal of the Philippines.
that's what he says. Anyway, our position is very clear. The position of the president is unequivocal and inflexible. ICC never acquired jurisdiction over our country for the reason that he has given us. The requirement of publication imposed by law was not observed. There has to be publication in the newspaper of general circulation or on official gazette. Even if there was a ratification by Congress or by the Senate on that particular subject, still a law cannot be enforced unless you comply with the requirement. Number two, even assuming, for the sake of argument, that we have been under the jurisdiction of ICC, and even assuming that we have withdrawn, because as far as we're concerned, the letter submitted to them was more of a courtesy telling them that we have never been under your jurisdiction. But let us assume all those facts I mentioned. Still, ICC cannot proceed with any proceeding that it has started, specifically because it said that they conducted a preliminary examination and not a preliminary investigation. And under the Rome Statute clearly says that any preliminary investigation or any proceeding relative thereto, if commenced prior to the withdrawal of state party, can continue and will continue. Therefore, if it does continue, it violates its own provision because there has been no preliminary investigation. Preliminary examination refers only to finding out, one, whether the crimes alleged fall within the jurisdiction of the ICC, like genocide, crimes against humanity, and so forth. Number two, assuming that the jurisdictional crimes are present, it must be established during the preliminary examination that the state party is unwilling to prosecute, or even if willing, it is incapable of doing so. So it can never proceed to conduct any investigation. Moreover, the fear that we have no more recourse with respect to abusive officials or heads of state, those fears are misplaced. It only demonstrates the ignorance of certain historical circumstances that occur in this country. One, the ouster of a president in 1986, perceived to be abusive. He was ousted by the people in a peaceful revolution. Number two, another president was prosecuted, was convicted, and was jailed, and subsequently pardoned. Number three, another president was prosecuted, was jailed, and subsequently acquitted. In other words, we have a robust system. Our Constitution has provided many machineries, legal machineries, by which we can prosecute any public official committing any wrongdoing. And another thing, I think they're also forgetting, these critics and detractors of the president, that the crimes, the jurisdictional crimes of ICC are already part of our penal laws in this country. In other words, anybody can file a complaint with respect to the crimes mentioned earlier. And the courts or the administrative bodies where these cases are filed would be investigating, determine whether there is a probable cause, file it in court, and there will be trial. In other words, there is a remedy. What is appalling is that the ICC has become a political tool of using its power to politically persecute heads of state, thereby intruding into the sovereignty of this country. It is no wonder that powerful countries of the world, like US, Russia, China, and Israel, have withdrawn and or did not join the ICC. Moreover, if you read the newspaper yesterday, there was a message from, I think, the US State Department warning the personnel and staff of the ICC, if they pursue their investigations of certain heads of state of other countries, they will not be given or will not be, their visas will not be renewed. Because as far as the US government is concerned, it is politically persecuting those subject of investigation.
May follow up. Ina, and then Virgil.
Sir, has Malacanang received any formal communication from the ICC regarding the official effectivity of the withdrawal?
None that I
supposedly?
know of.
Is it something that you're waiting for the ICC pa, or since you're insisting that we were
No.
never under its jurisdiction,
We're not interested.
it's not necessary as far as you're
As far as
concerned?
we are concerned, we have never been under its jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Virgil?
Ay, sir, in relation lang dun sa warning ni Secretary Pompeo.
Saan?
Yung sa warning ni Secretary Pompeo dun sa ICC
Yes.
personnel. So, will the Philippines consider doing that also, revoking visas, barring entry of ICC
You
investigators?
don't have to do that if they cannot even get a visa getting out of the U.S.
I mean, here po sa Philippines, if would the government also consider that? Kasi if they will pursue with the investigation, they might, come here.
Certainly, we will not allow any attempt at interfering with the sovereignty of this country.
And that includes...
That includes everything. To
I mean,
stop
not-
them from committing any acts that will be violative of our laws.
So that includes not giving
Oh,
visas
that's
to these people.
kasama lahat yun, syempre. Basta anything na... Why should we allow them to do it first before we do something?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cedric, and then RJ. Ina, may follow-up ka rin.
Sir, actually, similar din dun sa question ni previous questions po.
Yes.
Ano sir yung mga nasa capacity ng Pilipinas sir na pwedeng sanctions if at all should the ICC proceed with the case or the information po?
Wala eh. Kaya unang-una, how can they? Alam mo, they can do their worst. But they cannot even enforce whatever they're doing. How will they enforce it in the first place? Sige nga. Sabi nga ni Presidente, sige nga. Hambugero lang sila, sabi ni Presidente.
So Philippines can just simply ignore.
We've been ignoring them.
RJ.
Sir, linawin ko lang. So they cannot enter the Philippines, the prosecutors from the ICC.
How can they enter if they do not have any visa? Ha? Bakit? Hindi ba siya kailangan? Hindi ka ba? Siyempre,
Sir, I mean
pupunta ka
the
sa ibang bansa,
Philippine-
may visa unless you're going to Hong Kong or...
So the Philippine government is determined not to allow these personalities or prosecutors from the ICC to enter the country
They
to conduct
they
investigation.
cannot undertake anything in connection with jurisdictional exercise of what they have in mind. Because, as we said, that is in violation of our laws.
All right.
Ina, may follow-up? May follow-up other issue? Okay na tayo? Chona? Okay. Cedric.
Sir, i-clarify ko lang sa visas kasi depende naman sa passport yun ng foreign national, di ba? So, pwede silang pumasok without visas. Pero should they be conducting investigation, they will be blocked, they will be barred from entering the country. Tama, ganun po ba yung sinasabi niyo, sir?
If they can come here as guest visitors, pwede yun. Pero any move that will be deemed as a violation of our laws, may problema sila doon.
Okay. RJ.
Pero sir, nagbanta na si Presidente na sasampalin niya daw si Fatu Bensouda once pumasok siya sa Pilipinas.
Alam mo naman si Presidente, di ba? Si Presidente naman mahilig talagang hyperbole ang tawag.
So wala pong sampalan na mangyayari.
Wala. I don't think even that that lady would be coming here.
Okay? Okay, thank you, MPC. Thank you, Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.